Excuse me. Uh, Hello. So this is gonna serve as an official voice reveal. I've uploaded a few videos, as you can see, throughout the year already. So I just want to sort of goof off a little on YouTube. So in this video, I'm gonna be drawing Batman. Um, just I got this iPad for Christmas, and you know, I've always liked to draw and stuff, as you can tell from all the videos I've uploaded. I feel like my channel is going to be more art orientated. I'm actually working on an animation right now. Um, so, yeah. So, I'm not really just going to talk about the art specifically. I'm just going to use this to talk, and you can watch my drawing in the background if you want to. But, yeah. So, I'm just going to talk about usually well, I guess I'll talk about my art a little. I'll just talk about Batman, really, given that he's the subject of today's video, because I'm drawing him. Um, but yeah, man, I really don't know where to start. I don't have a script or anything. I don't plan to script these. I just plan to talk. But going into my Batman design, I like to make him look very intimidating. I like to watch art videos and stuff that, talk about what goes into character design and stuff. And part of it, something one guy said, I can't remember the video or the channel name really, but he said if you want a character to appear more threatening, you might give them a more angular design. And that's what I would do with my Batman, make him a lot more angular. Because I I really like the way that Matt Reeves and Zack Snyder portrayed Batman. They, I think, were the best at it because Zack Snyder, when he made Batman vs Superman, he earned any film featuring Batman really. Batman wasn't just, this goofy dude in a bat costume who ran around. Because I'm gonna be honest with you, I think Christian Bale's kind of overrated. It's a pretty controversial opinion. I just think he's overrated when it comes to playing Batman. I just don't like him very much. His movies are good, trust me. The Christian Bale Batman movies are good, and I believe Christian Bale poured his heart and soul into these performances. It's just that Christopher Nolan was trying to tell a different story that wouldn't exactly fit a Batman narrative. Now, the way Zack Snyder portrays Batman, a lot of people complain because he's too comic and accurate, because he's, killing people left and right and stuff. But here's my argument against that. Batman, when he first started out, was like murking people left and right. I get we've come to know and love the version that, is all happy-go-lucky and doesn't kill and everything and is part of the Justice League. But I like the idea of embracing that sort of darker side of Batman. Um, which, Batman already is a dark superhero, a very dark character. And I don't know, I enjoy Batman sheerly because of the interesting storytelling you can get with him. Most superhero movies, yes, their plot is there, but for the most part, you're there for the action. But with a Batman movie, that's kind of the opposite because Batman's going to win the physical fight at the end of the day. He's just too good. What you're really there for is the mental battle. For example, in Matt Reeves' The Batman, the mental battle between him and Riddler, him slowly coming to terms with the fact that he's kind of inspired the Riddler in a way that they are in fact the same. It's just the main difference is Batman will not kill you, but he's getting there. He might get there someday. I don't know. But I mean Riddler will. And the whole thing about that movie, the whole main plot point, this character arc for Batman in that movie is that he needs to come to terms with the fact that he needs to lead Gotham in a different way. And I saw someone else talking about what the Batman does that the Dark Knight trilogy fumbles on. And it's that shot at the end of the movie where he's saving the people from, Gotham being flooded and stuff. And, he's saving everyone here. And it's that shot from above where he's holding that sort of a torch, that lamp thing, and he's leading the people of Gotham City. He's leading them along with him, and they're following him as he's holding up that light, which goes to show that it represents his character arc of going from this, whole I'm one man, I'm gonna change this to I can I can do this, but not the way that I am currently. I need to be leading these people. And I just think that that is a really good method of visual storytelling. And there are a lot of people who will say that Robert Pattinson's Batman went through no character arc, and it's like, dude, did you fall asleep during the movie? Come on, dude. Did we go see the same movie? Because like I think you were watching Batman vs Superman. We were watching the Batman. Okay. We weren't even at the same theater. We weren't in the same country. Okay, at that point. But yeah, but I just really like Batman because here's the thing. I do like that part of Batman that's like, he has to realize how he has to become hopeful and everything. But I also just really, really love the part of Batman that is just scaring the crap out of people. Okay, that is one of my favorite things about the Batman, and also what was it? Zack Snyder's Batman, Ben Affleck's, is that they are so good at scaring people out of committing crime. I remember the Dark Knight trilogy. In the Dark Knight specifically, there's one scene where this guy's like, runs up to a dude's car and tells him to roll down the window, and like he's got a gun to him, and he's like, "Hey, bro, give me the car." And he looks up and sees a bat signal. He's like, "Hey, never mind." But it just wasn't there. And then the Batman comes out, and it shows that criminal walks out of the store with the money. He looks up at the bat signal, and the thing is, you can't just put the bat signal there and then show them being scared. You have to make the audience scared as well, and Matt Reeves does that well with the very dark setting, the dark lighting that he's using, as well as the soundtrack playing in the background. That sort of horror violin, that high pitched, sort of like, strumming it across the strings really fast, really, really fast. Sorry, I forgot to hit that L on the really. But he creates a Batman that isn't just scary physically, like in appearance wise, because Ben Affleck's Batman, he's like, you know, average male height in the U.S. is what, like 5'8", 5'10", and then here's Ben Affleck's Batman over here. He's like 6'4", and he's 241 pounds, and he, like, this Batman could give Bane a run for his money. Bane from the Dark Knight trilogy. He would he would slam this dude around. He would slam Bane around. Okay, I'm convinced of that. Because, like, if you've seen the way he fights, look, Bane in that, and this is counting Tom Hardy's height, is only, what, like 5'8"? So Ben Affleck's Batman towers over the Dark Knight trilogy's Bane. He's an absolute beast compared to him. And I think that would just be a super unfair fight. But anyways, back to what I like about Batman. Batman starting out is using fear as his main tactic, and I love that aspect of, creating a superhero. Is not like he shows up, he saves the day, or the criminal's like, Superman, stuff like that. Sorry, I got an Xbox notification. Or he's like, Superman, and stuff like that. It's like you're committing a crime. Batman shows up, and you start praying is kind of what, like if I see someone start praying, or if I see that dude and I start praying, that's how you know a superhero's scary, okay? It is quintessential for me that Batman scares the crap out of people. It just fits, because, his whole thing of, bats frighten me, it's time my enemies share my dread. I love that. I just, I love Batman, and I love the whole idea of just being a superhero that instead of being hopeful and everything and triumphant like All Might or Superman, um, which, when we get the All Might update where they drop those care packages in Fortnite, every time I would hear him speak, I'd just shout, Superman's better. But anyways, I'm a DC fanboy, I love DC. couldn't tell. But it's instead of being this triumphant guy like Superman or something, someone super hopeful, it's just this guy who stands on top of a building, looks at you, and that's all he has to do. That little light that Gordon shines up in the clouds and stuff, it does half the work for him already. Just scaring the crap out of you and make you feel utterly awful. But just real quick, this video is going to be a part one. I plan to color it in later sometime soon. But yeah, but I just love that whole Batman being scary thing because it fits so well given the backstory of Bruce Wayne, that his parents were murdered in front of him, and he felt nothing but fear and anger in that moment, and eventually that all comes bubbling up to the surface to where he goes on this, because he is vengeance, he is taking revenge on people, and his whole thing is just angry all the time, and he's making people fear him, feel that same fear that he felt whenever he saw his parents murdered. And that's one thing I hate about Pattinson's character arc. I think it's amazing. I think it's done well. But I just want to see more of that fear aspect be drawn out, you know? Like, I want to see him, you know, be hope to the people, but still be feared by, like, criminals and stuff, you know? But I just feel like that can't be done. It's either has to be one or the other. But if Matt Reeves does pull it off, I mean, he pulled off Batman in the daytime beautifully. I mean, he pulled it off amazing, and what he did, he didn't have it like in broad daylight. He had it in like maybe early morning or like late afternoon. That's when it works. That's when it fits. And I absolutely love Matt Reeves for being able to do that. But yeah, if Matt Reeves can pull that off, I I'll give him my kidneys or so, I don't know. I'll give him one organ from my body. Not sure which yet. I'll make like a little wheel spin thingy and just spin it until it lands on one. That's the one I'll give to him. But yeah, if he does, I will be very, very much impressed by that. So yeah, I do think that Mr. Freeze should be the villain for the next Batman movie, mainly because, you know, they did introduce Joker in the last one, yes, but we've just had too much Joker. I mean, let's look at all the Jokers we've had. We've had Cesar Romero, Jack Nicholson, we had Heath Ledger, we had Jared, Jared Leto, sorry, and then man, I don't even know if we've had any more. Like, we had Barry Keoghan. So wait, we've had Cesar Romero, Jack Nicholson, Heath Ledger, Jared Leto, Barry Keoghan. Yeah, but like, what do most people think of when it comes to a Batman villain for a live-action movie? They're gonna think of Joker. Joker's just been done way too much. Well, not way too much, but we've seen enough of him for now. Leave him as a side villain as of currently. Mr. Freeze would be perfect in this setting, in my opinion, because, you know, the whole city's flooded and everything. Do I even need to say anything else? I mean, that's just a perfect advantage for, like, freezing stuff, you know? Oh, God, excuse me. I'm very sorry. But, yeah, some of my other favorite Batman villains, I'd say, other than maybe either Mr. Freeze or Scarecrow, favorite Batman villain of all time would definitely have to be Deathstroke. I think we need to see either... That scared me. I'm recording this in iMovie right now, so you just saw the thing zoom in. That scared the crap out of me just now. I'm sorry. But we need to see Deathstroke in a movie. I hope that it's either against Ben Affleck's Batman, or Ben Affleck's Batman going against Deathstroke, which I doubt will happen since the DCEU is getting rebooted. Thank God that the Batman is separate. Or Robert Pattinson's Batman fight Deathstroke. That's what I want to see. Although that would be weird considering the whole thing of, you know, Deathstroke being a super soldier. How are we going to make that realistic in the Batman world? But Matt Reeves will make it work either way, so yeah. Also, what I want to talk about in that last scene in the Batman, when he's, injecting himself with the venom to save Selena Kyle from the. And here's what I think. That guy that he was beating up earlier was the same guy I saw in the funeral scene. I was talking about this with one of my cousins. He thinks that that's Joe Chill, and I think that's very interesting because of the way Robert Pattinson's able to convey a lot of emotion with just his eyes. He is a great actor. And so, the way he looks back and the way he interacts with him, he looks scared of him. And Joe Chill's, or I'm holding up quotations right now, but Joe Chill is like, hey kid, don't I know you? And, I like that little detail because he's like, well, that pretty much gives it away, like, that's Joe Chill, pretty much just tells you right out the bat, hey, this is the guy that killed Bruce Wayne's parents. And I think that works very well because it's come full circle. Joe Chill, in the end, was the one who created Bruce. Bruce becomes Batman. Batman creates the Riddler, and the Riddler recruits Joe Chill. And that comes full circle from Bruce saying, I'm vengeance, to Joe Chill saying, I'm vengeance, after Bruce beats his face in. But what I want to say, when he injects himself with that stuff in the end, he, it's like a yellow liquid, and a lot of people are saying it's adrenaline. Like, that could be used for Bane, It doesn't have to be called Venom. I mean, he doesn't use Venom in the Dark Knight trilogy, and I don't have a problem with taking liberties in comic book movies. I used to, but I fixed that problem now because I'm tired of people just, oh, it has to be this accurate or I'm not gonna like it. Just enjoy it, man. Like, come on. It doesn't have to be a faithful adaptation. It just has to be a good movie. So, yeah. But that would make a very interesting storyline. There is a storyline in old Batman comics where he gets addicted to the venom, and we could do that, but with the adrenaline. And what happens is he's like trying to save some little girl, and it doesn't work out in the end. So he ends up figuring out a way by using that venom stuff. And eventually, when the doctor who's supplying him with it runs out of it, he goes and attacks him, and then realizes what's happening to him, what this addiction has caused. So he ends up like locking himself in the Batcave until he's able to function without it. He has Alfred lock him in there, not let him out. And I think that makes for some very good, storytelling. Because Batman, I'm tired of trying to give heroes just like the easy way out. Challenge them a little. That's what Zack Snyder does with, Batman. Batman and Superman. He pushes their morality, sees how far he can push them to the limit, Like with Superman snapping Zod's neck at the end of Man of Steel. I know it's weird to say Superman and snapping someone's neck in the same sentence, but here's the thing, Zack Snyder clearly demonstrates Superman tries everything to stop Zod from killing people. He tries taking the fight in the air, he tries redirecting his heat vision, he tries everything. All of which would have just kept going on, kept the fight going. So in a moment of desperation, he kills him, which is a last resort. And he even lets out that little, that primal, little scream of pain, pretty cool. And also with, Zack Snyder's representation of Batman being a Batman who's just completely gone off the deep end, who just cannot be bothered with the no killing rule anymore. Just like, screw it, I'm just gonna start. And, I really wish that, in The Dark Knight Returns, animated movie, that when he, what am I trying to say? When he, shoots the guy, he takes the gun from the dude. He doesn't just shoot the gun out of his hand as he's holding the boy hostage. Here's the thing, in the Dark Knight Returns comic, they leave it kind of ambiguous, Does he shoot him? Does he not shoot him? That didn't make any grammatical sense. But, the panel's in black and white, and they don't show where the bullet hits him. They just show blood splattering and the guy falling backwards. Could have hit him in the hand, could have hit him in the shoulder, could have just straight shot him in the head. They leave it up to you. Not to mention something else Frank Miller did with The Dark Knight Returns. What he did while he was fighting the Joker in that cave and he ends up snapping his neck. He does it to paralyze him, and Joker ends up, snapping his own neck. You might think, well, that doesn't make any sense. But here's the thing. He uses color to interpret when characters are thinking to themselves. Whenever a character's speaking out loud in the comic, it's just a white text bubble. But whenever a character is thinking to themselves, Superman might have his blue, Robin would have hers yellow or green, or Batman would have his gray. Robins are yellow, Joker's are green, but Batman's are gray. So when Joker's monologuing to Batman after snapping his neck to paralyze him, it's in gray. The text bubbles are in gray. So it's to show that Batman's so deep in his own, I'm just going to say it, he's very self-centered and selfish with his no killing rule, because by not killing the Joker, he's saying, I'm the better man than him. But it's all about being the better man than him. It's not about saving the people at Gotham at this point. And I think that makes Batman very selfish, and that's what I think makes Batman very interesting, is that he's very, very flawed in his methods of fighting crime. I do think Batman should kill, okay? If I were a citizen of Gotham, I'd be riding in the streets every day until he just snapped his neck around. Here's the thing. Does Joker kind of win in the end? Yeah, I guess, but, are people dying? Not anymore. No. I mean, just think about with Jason Todd. I'd rather have Jason Todd than Batman. Because, look, Jason Todd in the Under the Red Hood, movie adaptation, not live action, cartoon, but in that he isn't super murderous psycho, which I'm glad for. He controls things. He's like a Batman if he was a kingpin, So yeah, that's all I wanted to say. So I'll talk more about it in part 2.